Hey everybody! Welcome to the post show of
Yeah, well,
Otakucast.
the show after show.
Yeah, if you're here,
Your families.
yeah, because you're a Patreon. That's why you can see this. Thank you guys
Yes.
so much for being our Patrons. We really appreciate it. And today we're talking about the movie we watched in Anime Club this week. Hopefully you've seen it and you know it, because we're going to discuss spoilers for My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, the second movie in their world, I guess.
The second My Hero Academia movie, yes.
Yes. Look,
Or
words are hard sometimes, so
no,
don't judge.
not.
It's called Hepburn Boko no Hero Academia za Mibu Hirozu Rajingu in Japanese. And look, I like My Hero Academia Heroes Rising better because I can actually pronounce most of those words properly. Most of them.
Sure.
Don't at
So
me.
yes, this is the second film based off of My Hero Academia by Kohei Horikoshi. It was directed by Kenji Nagasaki, produced by Bones, and
Bone
released in
Throne.
Japan.
Bone Throne. Can we talk about the Bone Throne?
No, and it was
I
released
Bone
in
Throne.
Japan December
My goodness.
20th, 2019. But didn't come to America until this year in February 26th.
Can I visit the Bone Throne? Can I visit Saikuna's Bone Throne?
Anyways, so if you guys actually don't know,
Sorry.
Bones, the animation studio, has produced a few other animes. More well known would be Wolf's Rain, Iruka 7, Angelic Lair, Darker Than Black, Soul Eater, Orion Host Club,
Oran Host Club?
Orion Host Club, whatever. Both of the Full Metal Alchemist animes, Mob Psycho 100, Space Dandy,
Good
Noragami,
Good
and
shit.
the My Hero Academia anime itself.
Yes,
So
good shit.
those are just some of the ones they produced. They have produced a ton more. If you want to check them out, they've got a lot of really cool anime under their belt.
They do.
But,
Bones has got a good history. They got a bunch of good stuff. So
oh heck yeah, they did Bungo Stray Dogs.
But I haven't seen that. I have seen Wolverine.
We might have a potential thing to watch next season. Who knows? So yeah, let's talk about the movie itself.
Look, it's a movie.
Okay, I'm glad movies aren't canon in most universes.
Really enjoyed.
God, I'm so glad.
90% of this movie, it was very hero. It was very My Hero. It was in the world.
The fights were cool.
It was easy to follow.
It was a very basic plot.
Yeah, look, bad guy wants to do bad guy things. Hero wants to stop bad guy from doing bad guy things.
Yeah. It starts off like the League of Villains.
We both like My Hero. DC might not like Deku, but we both.
No, I think that the writing has let Deku down, especially even in this movie. I think Deku gets let down. His potential is thrown out.
These are my phone. The background pop socket that I broke yesterday and super glued back in there.
Angels is like a dog. You just like the ball, squirrel, ball. Focus.
Listen, DC, this is the post show. I can do what I want.
We're supposed to be talking about the movie. Focus. Whatever. I'll talk about it. I don't care. So we start off with the League of Villains, if you guys know, getting chased by Endeavor, Hawks, and a bunch of other.
Is lemons.
Again, being chased by these guys. A lot of heroes, I think, died in this chase because cars just explode with the heroes in them.
You gotta say, awesome car chase action scene.
I mean, yeah, the car chase was cool. But it turns out it was all for naught, as the League of Villains, when they finally get captured, it's revealed they were all twice as clones. So, I mean, of course they were. That's the perfect thing to do.
Yeah, plot.
Yeah, plot needed it to happen. Plot needed movie to happen, and whoever they were carrying inside of the truck escaped. Escaped. So then we get sent to UA's Class 1A. UA's Class 1A has been sent to Nabu Island to do a hero program there where they actually get to be heroes. So they're doing this because the level of bad guys has gotten so strong that they need actual legitimate real world experience. Go be real real heroes on this island only because like basically there's no crime there
It's
really.
an island in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere. They need help
There's
jump-starting their
yeah.
tractors and carrying grandmas to hospitals. Like,
Which is basically they need people to like stop people from drowning and other stuff like that.
yeah.
So yeah, they go there and they're like, hey kids, just so you know, you're not going to have any hero support. This is going to be all on you, pass or fail.
Because
Whatever happens, you do.
the island had
It's
their
your fault.
own like local hero, but he retired from
It
hero.
Yeah, there was one hero. Apparently, he was like an old dude because they talked about how he was like that old guy. Like that was the most you heard about him. He was some old dude who just retired. So they need new heroes, and this was the jump start to the hero program there to get heroes to come over.
Might I
Letting
add, Mineta is gross, and I just every time Mineta does something, I just cringe.
you
I'm like,
know, look, he was a good guy this episode. He stopped two creeps from going after these girls. Yeah, he was like, haha, look how cool I am, ladies. And they just like were like, well, no, talk to the other guy. But you gotta give Mineta credit at least. He wasn't like horribly creeper.
not awful, but
He was stopping the creeps because he wanted to try and flirt, but at least he wasn't like being a creep.
so look. So eventually, anyway, kids are doing hero stuff, jump starting
Yeah,
tractors,
that's
helping old ladies to hospitals,
yeah,
saving people from drowning, all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
eventually, Deku and Bakugo meet Maharu Samaru and Katsuma Samaru, brother and sisters,
yeah.
because they're
Because
residents of the
yeah,
island.
Bakugo's going on night patrol. Uh, Deku's like doing his training. Kids like my sister, my sister. I can't find my sister. Well, that's later, but earlier
Yeah,
Deku meets him. He goes off to find her, and she
like a villain.
scolds
He's like,
him. She scolds Deku for being like it took him over an hour to find her, and I'm like, that's a pretty good time considering the size of the island.
yeah, and I
Like,
mean,
I mean, how the heck is he supposed to like just find a kid in the middle of nowhere? Like, it's impressive. It only took him an hour.
and yeah, he went all over the island looking for this kid, and he found him, and he of course
Yeah,
was fine. And it was just pretty much the girl like, oh well, you took too long. This is why
yeah,
heroes
trying
are
to
trash.
the heroes suck, and then yeah, that's basically what happens, and then Bakugo's on night patrol. The village thanks the kids by bringing them a bunch of food. Bakugo gets called out again by the kid who's like, "Hey, there's a villain! There's a villain! Bad villain comes!" And like Bakugo's like, "Finally, my chance to do something," because Bakugo doesn't do anything.
Bakugo has not been the whole day. He's at the hero edge. And like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
He's
no,
got his book, and he's like,
yeah,
and they're like, hey, who wants to help with this thing? And he's like, pass. And he goes
yeah,
back
nah.
to his book.
Bakugo wants to be the number one hero. Ain't gonna be the number one hero. I mean, just gonna tell you that right now.
He's a jerk. Let's be real.
No one likes Bakugo. Actually, a lot of people like Bakugo. What's wrong with you? There's nothing to like about that guy.
No, there's not.
He's
He's
a
just
horrible bastard.
he
He
really
doesn't want to
is.
help. He doesn't want to help people. He just wants to fight villains. Like that's not a good hero. He's not a good hero. He's not a primo choice.
Do
So
people that like Bakugo maybe have some
they're the same
issues they
people that
might
like Sasuke.
need to talk to a professional
Nah,
help?
probably. He's a bully and an asshole.
He
So
really is.
yeah, so they go to fight the villain. Bakugo like uses his explosion thing on it, and then he's just like he lands on the ground. He's like whatever, and the monster like goes and like stabs his claw into the ground, and Bakugo like Deku's like oh no Bakugo, and Bakugo just like walks in and he's like yeah it ain't real,
Yeah,
and
it turns out that it's an
it's
illusion.
created by the big sister, and
Yeah.
he's like oh how'd you know it was an illusion? You should be at least a little bit scared. And he's like anyone can figure that out. It doesn't cast a shadow, like duh. And I'm like, good point.
I mean, it was nighttime too. So, I mean, he was doing explosions, so,
Yeah, he
but
did.
still.
Because his when he used his explosion, it didn't cast a shadow. He knew. Nah, it's not real.
Yeah, look.
I
Yeah,
mean, he
you're
had a
right.
point.
He did.
Bakugo being smarter than Deku, which is sad.
Wow. Yeah. But Deku wasn't
Throughout
like
this
right on
movie,
top of it.
Bakugo was smarter than Deku, and that's saying something. This should have been the Bakugo movie.
Yeah, look. I think that's what they intended anyway.
I
But
hate that. I hate that. I hated it with Sasuke when Sasuke was like the main focus of stuff and he became the main contender and stuff. And it like Naruto stopped being the main character. And I'm like, dude, this is not Naruto. Or this is not Sasuke the anime. This is Naruto. Make Naruto do hero stuff. make Naruto defeat villain. And that's been my problem with My Hero Academia, is that there's a very basic formula. Make main character beat baddie.
Look, it doesn't always have to be the main character, but focus on main characters. Good. I see what you're
You
saying, but
you don't read the manga, so you don't understand the frustration I feel
this
when
is true.
when I state, let the main character be the focus.
Hello, Rukia.
Jeez, it's
Okay,
not that hard.
okay, I love you too.
And,
Get down.
and so we get baddie dude has a team, uh Chimera, whatever,
What is
Mummy Chimera.
what the fuck even is Chimera? Like, I know he's
I
represented as the
don't
monster Chimera. I understand that.
understand his ability. I
His
don't know what his,
abilities are all over the place. He's a beast. He's
yeah,
not a beast. He breathes fire, and he gets
breathes
his
lasers.
lasers, and he's super strong. Super. He's like, I want to see if like he's so OP that it's damn near ridiculous. Like All Might levels of
He's
OP.
like, he's stronger than the main villain in the series, in the movie. He's stronger.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's it took a lot more to knock him down until, yeah. But yeah, they go, they find a dude who's driving a truck. Turns out to be the kids on the island, hit their dad. Dude, apparently the main villain, he's called Nine. He tries to steal the dad's quirk, which doesn't work because it doesn't work on type B blood.
Yeah, you
And I
find out
was
the kid's dad is away doing work
making
on
money, man, doing trucking stuff.
leaving these kids completely alone. Both of them are like 6-ish by
They're
my
young.
guess.
I don't know. They're young.
Completely alone with no adult supervision to do whatever they want at all times because
Yeah,
anime parents.
right. At least he's a good dad. Like he's actually like, he still like Skypes with them and stuff. Like he's a good guy. He still
Yeah,
stays in touch. He's not like Deku, or yeah, he's not like Deku's dad who like doesn't call, doesn't write,
would not.
doesn't send an email, doesn't care.
I wonder when Deku's dad went. Wait a minute, my kid got a quirk and he's training at UA. When did Deku's dad hear about
I
that?
don't.
Like,
Ah, God, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll let you know that there was supposed to be something with Deku's dad, and then like the creator promised it, and then it just never happened.
oh,
And that
interesting.
really was something that like added to my hatred of Deku as a character, because he's just getting let down constantly by the writer. Like the
Yeah.
author is just letting him down all the time, and this movie isn't much different. Like Deku never gets a chance to shine in the movie. Like his moments are, he goes and he gets berated by a little girl for being late and he cries over it, and then he gets like, he goes with Bakugo and he does nothing.
Look,
And
it
that's like,
does have like closer to the end of the movie when they're like planning to take down the big guy. He doesn't get to sit there and plan like that was his brainchild
but
for the adventure
yeah,
of
not
Tiger. But
not really. It was much more Ida and Momo's brainchild. Like the whole operation was more of them than anyone else, because they were the ones that like talked about it and made the plans and discussed what was going on. And I was just like, Deku was just kind of there. Like he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really like do anything. Like
the
nothing.
movie could have been all except for the end, which is the only part that I really disliked the way that worked out. He could have been
Oh,
not in the movie at all. But
you
anyway,
you know you know I don't swear much during these, like during these at all. I really don't. Uh, fuck the end of this movie. Flat out.
yeah. So
Just,
let's get there.
we'll
So
get
anyway,
there, but
Nine
fuck
is
the end of this
getting
movie.
Nine is the big baddie, right?
Yeah, Big Bad. He's
Long
like,
story short, he's pretty much like his powers are a clone of One For All.
yeah, he was part of like the Nomu program. He was compatible with One For All. They call him Nine because he's able to hold 8 extra quirks, so he can
Other than
use
his own.
9 quirks. Yeah, have 8. I don't know what his original freaking quirk was. I'm guessing it's the lightning bolt ability.
He's got lightning. He's got laser eyes.
Well,
He's
it's
got
okay. Weather manipulation, laser beam, air shield thing.
Yeah, which we've seen that quirk used before. What was that one? The bad guy with the oh, what the heck is his name? The most dapper villain or whatever he was.
Yeah,
Gentle,
well,
gentle.
yeah, very. It's kind of a different power than Gentles. Like it's not the same as Gentles, but
But
yeah,
anyway,
he's got weather manipulation, air wall is what it's called, uh, scanning. He can use a scanning quirk, bullet laser, Hydra, and he got the father's ability, which we find out is cell activation, but doesn't work with his blood type. Hydra is what they're calling the blue spine dragons that he does,
blue
which
eyes white dragons.
yeah, which is like the coolest. Like I know he has weather manipulation, but honestly, the spine dragons were the coolest power he had. Like
It was pretty cool.
out of all of them, the spine dragons were the one I was like, I want spine dragon power. I don't know
Same.
why.
And he only could use. It was called Hydra, but he only had two of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Like you couldn't
Well,
have nine
towards
of
the
those bad boys. It's just oh yeah,
towards the
towards the end
end,
he had four of them.
towards the end he had like 9, but
But look,
yeah,
they nerfed this bad guy is badass, but they nerf him so bad with his whatever.
because
They nerf
well
the fuck out of
yeah,
it.
apparently, well, you know how throughout My Hero Academia every quirk has a downside.
Yeah, yeah,
Which like with like Sugar Rush, his whole thing is like he has to have it's however much sugar's in his system, he burns through that sugar. With Momo, it's literally the fats that she eats and
lipids. Yeah,
calories. Yeah, so she converts calories into items. You know, Bakugo, it's literally his sweat. When his palms run dry, he's got
yeah.
no more juice.
Or if he
With
sweats
yeah,
too much, it can do him harm to himself.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, with like grapefruit head, you know, it's literally his
bleeding.
scalp bleeds.
Yeah.
Electricity dude, he goes into yay mode. Yeah,
Mhm.
he literally it fries his brain.
Yeah.
But everyone has a weakness, and I
And can I say
guess
most of those weaknesses, the vast majority of them make sense for the character in question and for like how we understand human beings to work
yeah,
too.
well,
Like
and apparently for dude's power to manipulate the weather, which I have to admit, he destroys an entire town like it's nothing. I mean, literally nothing. uh, he's from what I've seen All for One, not as terrifying as this dude
mm-mm.
who just instantly destroyed a town in seconds. It was seconds. It
Yep,
was freaking seconds, and I'm like,
wrecked. Wrecked.
wow. And then it's like, oh no, the problem is though it destroys his cells.
Oh, can I just say, okay, bad guys plan. They have this big plan. Nine in his gang, so they got
Makes no freaking sense.
the Scarlet Witch lady with the red hair, that
I
spiky hair.
liked her. I
Uh,
liked her. She needed to be
Chimera.
used more.
Yeah, she was pretty neat. Chimera,
Yeah.
Nine, and what was the other one?
Mummy.
The Mummy. Yes,
Yeah, his name was Mummy.
he was pretty cool too, and they kind of
Ah,
got rid
Mummy's
of his.
power was awesome.
It was pretty cool. He wrapped pretty much like his clothes, like he put his sentience in his clothes,
Yeah.
and it could wrap an
Well,
object and it could control it.
whatever his bandages wrapped around, he could manipulate like a puppet, and it's freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
Can I just say they had this plan that they go to the town, destroy escape and communication, and then get like it was a child. They could have sneakily snuck into the bay. The child that they know the parent is not there. They could have just
Yeah, no. Instead, they crash a boat into the island.
they could have just snuck in under the cover of night, went
Well,
to the kid's house,
okay, it
quietly.
makes there.
Bandage dude could
Think
have
about
snuck a
this.
bandage through the window,
No,
grabbed the
of course.
kid, and
Yeah,
done.
of course. It could have been super easy. But you got to remember, his whole thing is that he wants a world where just power is everything. So you can't
Make it a
just like,
statement, I guess.
yeah, you can't sneak in if your belief is
Oh,
that
what style?
weak people, yeah, you got to be like, nah, show them a force that they can't stop me. And thus I prove that my point is correct. And it's like, yeah, but if you realize that it's not just power is more than just raw strength, it's also intelligence, and you lack that.
So pretty
You
much, they confront him and they force him to back off because he overuses his quirks, and then he goes,
yeah,
oh,
he overuses his
coughing up
quirk.
blood.
Deku gets the crap beat out of him. Bakugo gets the crap beat out of him. But um Bakugo previously defeats Mummy like he ain't nothing.
Yeah,
Because Bakugo is the only one that gets to succeed at anything in this movie. Like
apparently.
Todoroki couldn't take down Mummy, but Bakugo just shows up and he's like, well, Todoroki fought Chimera and couldn't do nothing against him, and then
Well, later
Bakugo like,
on,
yeah,
team effort, but mostly Todoroki that
yeah,
takes down.
yeah, it's mostly
And did you
Todoroki.
notice? Okay, in the anime, now this was written. This movie was meant to be like mid season 5, maybe after season 5, and they still have Todoroki because he remembered his dad like overheat your body, and he's like, I'll do that,
Yeah.
but with ice. But why? Like he's been using his fire canonically in the anime at this point, and now all of a sudden he doesn't want to use his fire. Like
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Many characters didn't act like they should in this. But
no,
then again, Chimera was just like freaking broken. Like I don't understand his power. I don't understand what his power is.
he was just like the main baddie was nerfed, but his
I
henchman was
I
OP God mode as fuck.
I like that that he was like he wanted to make Chimera. He's like, I'll bring the world that calls you a monster and let you be strong because of your power. And I was like, I think they call you a monster because you go around murdering people and committing crime. I
Yeah,
don't know.
look at this world. There's literal people that are like that can turn it like the dragon lady that you can turn
Yeah,
into a fleshy dragon. Like what the hell?
Chimera could have been like Chimera could have been the
Could
number
have
one hero if he just
100%
wanted to be a
rival
hero.
All Might at 100%, like for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, yeah, I think he could have. I think he could have. I honestly believe he could have
I
with
think he could wreck Endeavor on any given day. So
like he just casually laser breaths and destroys an entire area like it's nothing. Dude punches and causes
kid,
shock
let me show
waves.
you why they call me a monster. And he's got the cigar in his mouth. And,
I liked that. That was cool. Like
you
the
know,
thing
like
is though, I kind of wanted Chimera to be the main villain because he kind of had that swagger. Like he had that badass
okay,
swagger
he
about him.
was cool. I actually really enjoyed Chimera's character.
Yeah, I gotta admit, he's a cool monster.
He had swag for days. He was sassy. He was spicy. Like I
he just
enjoyed his powers and how he wrecked stuff. But
just
you know,
casual. Like I also liked that when he left, he just hopped away. Just like boing boing boing. I don't know why he did that. It made no sense to me.
maybe he
But
got
yeah,
kangaroo legs up underneath that jacket. I don't know.
so yeah, Mummy Dude, like all of them attack different places at different times. Mummy Dude gets taken down by Bakugo, and like after he manipulates Bakugo, Bakugo sacrifices one of his grenade gauntlets to break out of the thing, beats the dude in like literally one punch. I mean,
Oh,
literally
can we
one
mention
punch.
how one punch?
Yeah,
Anyway,
one
can we
punch.
mention that Nine, a big baddie dude, tried to steal Deku's quirk and it didn't want to be
Yeah.
stolen?
Well,
They,
okay.
oh
He
no,
stated
he couldn't fit it all.
there was too many. He stated there are too many.
Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. No, the thing about that is that's like that was a massive spoiler.
look, I don't
That is a
look.
massive spoiler that they threw in that movie. All casual.
Yeah,
That was yeah. No, I was like,
I've
dude,
been told. Like I went. Okay, the first time this movie came out in theaters, me and my crew. So we had Melissa and Desi and all of my people that I've mentioned before, and even my kids all came. I even wore my Deku sweater. Like they dressed up too. It was a good time. We had a good time watching the movie.
mm,
But even then, Bio Colette, aka Desi, was just so angry. She's like, "No, no, they can't reveal that. No!" And I'm like,
yeah, yeah, they did.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they revealed it. I'll talk. But
That's fine. I don't talk about it. But anyway, so like the
yeah, it's already
villains come
spoiled.
back. They come back for their full force attack. The kids split up into different groups. One group's
Yeah,
evacuated the
well,
island.
Mummy's been captured.
Oh yeah, Mommy was captured.
Momo and Ida set up a plan. Bakugo and Deku get healed by a little kid, who I thought his ability only worked on Type B blood type, but I guess not.
What blood types are Bakugo and Deku?
I
Let me
don't
find
think they're B. I really don't.
out. Blood type.
But it doesn't like I don't understand how
His
Baku
Bakugo's blood type is A.
Deku is O.
Look at that.
Yeah, Deku has my blood type.
Hey, Bakugo
So
has mine.
so
Wait, I'm A
yeah,
plus. Right? Yeah, fine. It's fine.
A positive.
Counts. A
Uh,
plus. What did I say? A plus.
so so
Existential
yeah,
crisis increases. Look, I'm tired. Gonna
So
run
yeah,
this.
I don't understand how his power works. I guess he said it works on Type B, but it doesn't. It works on
My
freaking
battery,
anybody.
my baby's
Um,
dead. The
then
battery.
they get healed. They make their plan. Basically, it's just we can't beat the bad guy, so the only thing we can do is run down the clock on him.
Until yeah,
Yeah, which
and
I gotta admit, this whole thing where they fight the three people, they split them up and everything was
Mhm.
cool. I like the fights. It was kind of weird that only two people went after the girl, but like seven people went after the other two, which makes sense. Chimera was needed like an army.
Look, and did you notice Tokiyami really got nerfed for the first part of his fight? They were in the dark. They were
Yeah,
in the dark, and he
he
just
should
really
have
got
been Berserk. He should have been
yeah.
Berserk from the very start.
No, and then it wasn't until who was fighting with him? Acid Alien Queen girl, yeah.
Yeah, Alien Queen.
And I keep forgetting her name. But and
I
then
don't
it
know,
wasn't
but I
until
love her.
she got hurt that he got mad and was able to do
Yeah,
his thing. But I was just like the first part of the fight, I'm like, what even are you doing? You're in the literal darkness. You
yeah,
should
you
be.
are.
We have heard in canon that once he's in the darkness, he is just he's in his
We have
element.
seen in canon when he is in
Yes,
the darkness, he has taken on the League of Villain. Like he is a powerful badass in the dark, and in this one, he's just like, I'm in the dark.
and and then we had
He
plot
had
reasons.
claw
I have
hands for
so
some reason.
many
He
plot
had metal
notes and plot
claws.
reasons. I was like,
Why did he have
oh,
metal claws? I didn't
I don't
understand
know.
why he
I
had
don't
metal
know.
claws on
And
his
then
shadow
luckily,
that has claws.
Bakugo and Deku, like shortly after that, avoided death for plot reasons. Like bad guy Nine could have just went shink, bit off both their heads at that point because they were done again. But no, plot reasons.
You're skipping way ahead on that one because but Nine gets slowed down by Tape and Uraka. Like that was a badass scene where they're literally like
That was.
throwing all of these rocks at him, and he's. You notice though that he was able to use more power to fight off all of these guys than he did when he originally fought Deku and
Yeah, because
Bakugo.
plot reasons.
Yeah, his powers went on for longer, and even though I was like, dude, halfway through this fight,
He
you've
fought
used up.
Deku for like 5 minutes and Bakugo for like two the first time, and
Yeah,
he's like,
and in
"This
this
is
one,
it.
he's gone on like 10 minutes, and he's only halfway through the fight, and I'm like, what the heck?
And then later on, I'm not gonna go too much into it right now, but then later on, he pushes himself even further for no reason, just because
I
he was
mean,
motivated.
look, the everything that happened in this movie was just so they could shout plus ultra and go beyond their limit. Which I do admit that Naval Laser Guy, when he went plus ultra, was pretty
Ayama,
awesome.
yeah,
I
he
liked
did his
his
best. Ayama did his
he
best.
he literally fired off a massive laser beam, and then he's like, nah, plus ultra, and he fired it off from like all points of his body, and I was like, all right, that's cool.
Yes, that
I
was
like
pretty
that.
cool. Ayama did awesome. He did the
And
good.
then Ochaku going plus ultra and releasing all of those things to release a giant wave of rocks. That was cool.
Yeah, it was very
So
cool.
Tape Dude did not get to go plus ultra at all.
Saro, yeah,
Nah, I didn't get to go. I liked even even little pervert great man got to go plus ultra and just ripping little balls off his head onto the rocks.
hey, that was a good strat though.
It
That was
was because it sticks the rocks together and then it makes the
mm-hmm,
giant boulders all stick together. Like I said,
exactly.
he's got potential to be a good hero. Like his power is actually pretty strong
It does.
because he can like we saw him earlier when he was fighting the mummy dude and he was like causing the puppets to get bound together and they couldn't break apart. Like he's
Yeah,
got
true.
that potential.
Yeah, true,
Uh,
true.
so yeah, Chimera fights like the plan to take down Chimera was good, which was they had Suyu grab him by the leg, drop him into a river, and
Did you
then
notice that Chimera's like, look, I don't want to, but I'm not above killing children. I will
yeah,
kill you guys.
yeah, he's like I don't want to, but I'll do it. But yeah, Suyu drags him into the lake, and then Todoroki freezes it, and I was like, when you see what happens, he only freezed it like 2 feet, and I was like, really? This is
Yeah, I don't.
the Todoroki that in season like what was season 1 made a giant like 50-foot tall fire of ice from
Oh,
one
was it
attack.
the tournament arc
Yeah,
there? That was season 2, and yeah,
okay,
that whole field was full of ice, and it was super.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that was
and literally
he should
everyone
have
in the
wrecked that
arena
lake.
was like breathing cold air because of how
Yeah,
cold
he
it
should have
was,
wrecked that lake.
and he couldn't freeze a 15-foot deep lake, or sorry, pond. Not even a lake, it was a pond. Like, come on, why did they
But you gotta
nerf him?
admit that fight with Chimera, they did nerf it. They nerfed a lot of people, but the fight with Chimera was still very, very good.
Yeah,
Well, not very, very good. It was decent.
how was Chimera able to keep up with Ingram's top speed? Because
Ingenium?
like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. That should not have
like
been a thing.
Ida's top speed is like literally blinding to most
Chimera was
people.
just too OP. It was like he had too many. Maybe he was part of the experiments too. I don't think so
I
because it wasn't mentioned. But
I
he
does
had
no come.
he was super strength, super speed, uh, whatever he laser beam breath, fire breath, hopping. Like what couldn't that dude do? Also a snappy dresser.
Oh yeah, he had the cool jacket and everything.
Yeah,
Apparently his name is Chojuro Khan. Chimera's name is Chojuro Khan.
Chojuro.
Chojuro Khan. That is a freaking awesome name.
That is a pretty cool name. Don't look at me like that. My dog was just staring at me. Sorry. But look,
I
and
get,
he was just,
I get part of his quirk. He is literally a chimera. I understand part of that.
which
Does
is
it
a
give him?
chimera, is a very, very powerful creature of
It's
lore,
a mixture of
myth,
creatures, but how does
goat,
that give
lion,
him?
snake, and that breathes fire. I guess,
Yeah,
but
he's like
still,
wolf, bird, lizard,
yeah.
and
Because like
then
when later he like pulls off his coat and he's got all these feathers. And he's like, now you'll see the monster I really am. And it's like, you've been that thing this whole time. You just had a coat on. Sorry.
yeah, I don't understand how his power works.
Like you had not. He didn't like mutate or change. He just literally took off his coat. Now
Yeah,
you'll know.
I just really
Now
don't understand.
you'll know what
How
I
can he breathe
really am.
fire? Like, there's so many questions I have about him.
I don't
I
know.
don't. I
I
want to.
don't. Like, see, like that's the thing about Chimera that irritated me because all of our other heroes with quirks. It's cold in here. Sorry. They all are explained. Or even the villains with their quirks, like Bakugo is nitroglycerin type substance sweat, and
His
then
sweat is nitroglycerin. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the basic
everything is
symbolization.
explained enough that we can go, oh yeah, that makes sense with at least the laws of physics as we
Like
understand them in our world. Chimera doesn't
even
make sense.
nine. Yeah, even
Yeah,
9 makes sense.
Chimera doesn't
Like,
make sense.
no. Like
Nope.
when you find out that 9 has like they gifted him, the ability to
Even the
kind of
ones
use
that
all
are
for
more
one. You're like, oh, okay.
fantastical, like more than just like physical superpowers. Like, okay, Momo, Creation Girl, for example, she
Yeah.
has to know every component of the thing she's making down to the smallest. Like alchemy kind of, Full Metal Alchemist kind of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
She has to know every component to be able to make it. So this dude just breaks all of the laws that we already had established in this world for making sense.
By the way, the girl's name is Slice.
Slice,
Her name
I
is
guess.
Slice. I
I
looked it up. Her
guess.
name is Slice. And I was like, I mean, I like Mummy. Like Mummy had a cool name and his power was explained immediately. Like he actually sat there and
Yeah,
explained what his power was.
He did
Slice,
Nanami from
yeah,
Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna lay my cards out on the table.
yeah. Slice. I didn't really like. You didn't really need to
She
be
was
have
kind of
her.
a useless character, honestly. She
Yeah,
was just
but
there. She didn't do anything that was special. She
yeah,
got her
but
ass
like
beat by Tokoyami. That was about it.
yeah, she hardened her hair. Like you understood her power. Like her power
Ooh,
made sense.
I
She
bet
hardened
sexy
her hair.
time's weird. I'm
Yeah,
only
but
kidding.
still, like you understand her quirk. It makes sense. Okay, I understand what her quirk does. It hardens her hair. She can
Oh, really?
manipulate it. Okay, I don't know. I just know what her hair did in the movie. I don't know. We don't know when it's not told to us. But
I bet there's a fan fiction out there.
Chimeras just makes no sense. It just makes no
Nope.
sense. Anyways, he gets beaten after like everybody works together to beat him, and
What kind of
Todoroki
work? Teamwork.
teamwork. Todoroki shoves his fist down his throat and deep freezes him.
I
And I
thought you were
was
gonna say
and
deep something else.
no, he literally he's like, oh my power, like you said earlier, if I go if I raise my body heat, what if I just lower my body heat? And I'm like, dude, you literally have been using your ice quirk your entire life. Come on. You,
I was actually, when I first saw the movie, I'm like, is he gonna do that whole "Are you flammable on the inside" thing? And I was like, yes, do it. I bet you're not resistant to my fire when it's inside. No, it was ice. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, technically, he should have used his ice and fire because he would have blown Chimera up. That super
all
cold and then that super hot would have created
all
the
he
water
had to
vapor
do all he had to do was just use his fire to push his ice even further by warming his body up as he
deeper into
deep
his throat,
freezes. Yeah.
deep throat, deep into
Also,
his throat.
the fact that he's like, maybe, that'll cool you off for a while. And I was like, no, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh no, he should have
No,
definitely been dead.
you froze him from the inside out.
That boy's
You
dead.
killed
But
him,
no, he is not
Todoroki.
dead. He's not dead. He's not dead.
No, come
But he
on.
should be.
He should be. Yeah,
Character should be dead. Part one.
that should that should kill. I
Yes.
don't care what you say.
I
That
don't
should
care
kill.
what kind of power your quirk gives you. That should be dead. That's
So
dead.
that's how that fight ends. We know how the other fight ends. And then we get the main villain fighting Deku and Bakugo because they go out to fight him since he's kicked everyone else's butt. And basically Deku and Bakugo like can't do crap. Like
No,
they keep trying.
they do it, and then he gets stronger, and then they
Yeah.
kick his
Well,
butt some more, and then he
he's got
pushes past his
these he's
women,
got these
like
like
the angel
purple
voice and
liquid
stuff.
he's got these purple
Yeah,
liquid tubes on his back, and they like push in, and I guess they're like
an
they're like a
enhancement probably.
medicine, like, yeah, like a medicine or a drug to
It's
keep him
probably
going.
like Erie's, if you've seen the show, Arie,
Yeah,
the little girl in season 5. Probably it's like an enhancement evolved from her stuff that she got going on. Not to spoil the show
probably.
too much, but
Yeah.
if you've seen
So
this, you hopefully have watched the show. If not,
yeah. So
what are you doing here?
there is one thing. He decides to use his lightning manipulate, like his weather manipulations, call down the lightning, and he's like, "Oh, that should have,"
I
like,
know
they
it's
show
cool.
back up, and he's like, "That should have killed you too," and they're like, "Oh yeah, your problem is you already used that on us, so we used a lightning rod, and it was lightning boy.
Are you
They
really trying to
used
get in my lap right now?
they used electric boy to take all the lightning, because I mean that's what he's good at.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, you can't do that.
So
He.
yeah. So
But
let's get to the bullshit ending where they get
okay. So they're getting their
they're
asses handed to them.
they're yeah, and
Bakugo and
they're
Deku.
both
Oh, there was this little scene where like the bad guy was coming for the girl, and she's like, "Don't touch my brother," and she used her
yeah,
illusions, and then they came back in, and just all of that don't matter. The big fight at the end,
yeah,
and
he
they're getting their asses handed to, and then Deku's
they're in
like, "There's
the
only one way we can win."
yeah, like they both have cuts on their fingers, and
Conveniently,
Deku's it's talking about how like all for one or one for all is transferred on, and it's a power accumulation quirk, and he's like, the only way to do this is to transfer the quirk
to you.
and to Bakugo, because they need two one for alls to beat him for some reason. Meh.
Oh.
Also, can we talk about how like
So,
like
look, hold on.
that
Before
let's
you,
I want to talk about this because this makes Deku look like a fucking moron. Because when he transfers the power, Bakugo fucking literally instantly uses it. Like he's on the exact same level as Deku instantly. Instantly. And I'm
and
like,
yeah, he does fuck up one of his
so
arms, but he still just keeps
yeah.
going. Like,
But that's the thing, is that he's on the exact same level as Deku. Like literally the exact same. Yeah, he
no,
messes up his arm.
stronger actually, because his quirk is added to it, so he's
Yeah,
stronger than
because he
Deku.
overpowers he can overpower his quirk. And I was just like, man, Deku took 5 seasons to get here. Bakugo did it in an instant. Wow, Deku.
The poor writing of the
Congrats.
movie.
Congrats, Deku. You are worse than Bakugo.
And
If
then,
Bakugo had been given this power, he wouldn't have needed the whole summer to train for it. He would have just been like, I got it. I'm up to the same level as you after you spent months on it.
He probably had a little bit of time, like adjusting how much to use so he doesn't destroy his body. But yeah, and
Yeah, that's about it.
one could argue, oh well, Bakugo's had a quirk his whole life, his body's, but it's not the same kind of quirk. So
No,
I'm not gonna.
very different. Very different quirk.
I'm chalking this one down to the fact that the writers just pretty much they said, okay, let's make another My Hero movie. What do we want to see?
Honestly,
we want to see Bakugo getting all for one and then kicking butt together. All
yeah,
right, let's make it happen. However,
that's
we
what
need
it
to
was.
get there. Let's get there.
So
All right.
you guys know the main villain.
The power trade scene was beautiful, though.
It was. I hated it.
I liked it. It was very cinematic.
I hated
it was,
it.
it's emotional. Like I did not like the concept of it, but I liked the scene. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
No, I hated it. Bakugo's an asshole. Don't.
Yes, he is. And then both the boys go Super Saiyan, like with lightning.
Literally, yeah, they just go Super Saiyan, and they
the lightning crawl thing that they were doing. So all of a sudden, he had lightning too, and they were like skittering across the ground, and the lightning.
I don't know. Well, that's because whenever Deku uses it, and like it always has like that weird electricity coming off of him.
Yeah, but it was more of like a visualization than
I know.
And then that was an actual thing. You know, because we talked about things that are actually happening in anime, or things that the animators and artists put in to show you a visualization of what the character's feeling, or the way the power works.
I have to state, I really feel like this villain was wasted in this movie. It was wasted on this movie because this villain deserves to be the main villain of the series. Like the level of awesome, like the level of awesome he puts off. If you just alter his ideals and give him a not stupid plan, like he would be freaking amazing. Because his raw power, he destroyed that island.
Oh, like, the island's gone.
He wrecked that island like it was like he came in and he's Godzilla and he wants to just destroy the island. He's just like
everything the rest of the class could do to keep these people safe underground.
They were barely holding on.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
it was Sugar Rush that was holding back the rocks and stuff.
And in this fight, dude's like, you know what? I'm not just gonna use lightning. I'm gonna summon a freaking tornado too.
Can I also mention that Deku alone couldn't approach this villain, but just not even like halfway, not a quarter, not almost, but then both Bakugo and Deku could. It would make more sense if like Deku was just almost there by himself, and then they had to use it this way. But
do you remember the training camp arc where Deku fought the weird dude whose muscles came out of his body? Yeah, that was creepy.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, you remember when he Deku was like, he did his like 15,000% punch or whatever it was?
Yeah, that should have just completely wrecked every fiber of muscle in his body. He should have looked like a pile of meat.
Why didn't he do that in the movie?
Look, you have an amazing point.
He literally stated 100% wasn't enough. And I'm like, but what about all those times you went beyond 100? Yeah, no, literally the whole point of what everyone else did, which was plus ultra, and Deku and Bakugo never freaking plus ultra, and I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Deku.
That's what happened at the end. No, that's what happened at the end because they did the fusion. Yeah, they did like the fusion
thing, like
because they were talking at the same time, and they were like both of their like. Did you notice their voices? Like it seemed like both of them had like an overlaid voice with the other, and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Look, they wanted two characters that are never going to be close to be close.
Yeah, should never have happened. Yeah, would have. Yeah.
Once Deku is grown up enough to realize how toxic Bakugo is, hopefully he'll just be like...
You know who would have been helpful in a weather manipulation battle? Todoroki.
Yeah.
Todoroki would have been an amazing help. And you know who would have been great against
Storm, an X-Men for whatever reason?
Yeah, but like, you know what? Who would have been great against a really tough armored chimera? A guy who could fire off nitroglycerin.
And also, did you notice? Okay, with the beginning of the movie, we see Hawks because he like gets wind of this. And
I do like Hawks. I do like Hawks. Yeah, I like Hawks.
Good Chase.
I like Hawks. He's one of my favorite
probably
heroes.
Did something stupid and he's dying because of it.
No, it's because the hero's name is Hawks.
And you said get wind of it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was laughing.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah,
Anyway,
no. So
but Hawks is supposed to be able to fly really fast, and you got wind of this in the very beginning of the movie. He's on his way to go check it out. He don't get
yeah,
there after everything's done, and then he brings other
yeah.
heroes with him. Like everyone was nerfed for plot reasons in this
Oh
entire movie.
yeah, 100%.
The writers said
And
we want to tell this story, and we're not taking any notes or criticism.
and then let's talk about after Bakugo and Deku beat the crap out of the main villain.
Okay, All Might's there. You know,
All Might's there,
everything
and
happened.
Deku's like apologizing because he gave up One for All to Bakugo, and like we saw when they both did their clash, like
that's what heroes
yeah,
do.
we saw that like fire that would like poofed out, and you're like, oh, well, here's the issue. It's like supposed to like make you think, oh, Deku lost his power. But at the start of the movie, Deku states, "This is the story of how I became the greatest hero." And then also we know that there's more in the anime and the manga past this movie. So not for one fucking second do I think that he actually lost his power ever.
When we were in the movie theater, like we were
Yeah,
moved by this scene, like all of it at the movie
I
theater. The first time seeing it, we were all moved by it. We were touched by it. But at the same time, we're like, wait, this can't.
yeah,
This doesn't.
no, that's why I
You
wasn't
know,
moved, because I was like, wait, what? But he can't lose his power. So what the fuck? Like, is Bakugo gonna wake up and just transfer it back? Because nothing says you can't do that.
if he transferred it back, then would he get Bakugo's quirk as well?
Yes, probably. Because it literally transfers quirks. So
but
that's literally like,
he's like, oh, the transfer hadn't completed. Look, his
because
transfer
he,
was
yeah.
better
What do
than
you
your
mean?
transfer. Your
What do you?
transfer was a hair follicle, All Might.
Yeah,
We
no,
literally
just
exchanged
no.
blood.
What do you mean he passed out before the transfer could complete? What the fuck do you mean? It's not. It's not a download.
And
It's
if you
once
remember,
you
All Might was like, oh, it has to take a little while to get. No, it didn't. No.
no
Completely bullshit. Completely. And then he's
no.
like, and then All Might theorizes that, oh, maybe it's because All for One wants to stay with Deku because a quirk is sentient.
Well, we do get hints of that throughout the series that something's up with it.
No, but like
Because
even memories of the past.
well,
I don't know.
we get whole senses of it, like when Deku was mind controlled, and there was like the other ghosts of everybody that like
I feel like that's
broke
some
him out of it
Avatar
and things like that.
shit.
Well,
Like stuff.
anyways, so that the whole thing is that's fucking dumb.
There was a completely out. It was all fucking dumb. It was dumb. As I said,
So
I was
fucking dumb.
up for the entire movie until that final like scene there. Like they could have done fucking anything else. I mean, yes, I do admit that the scene was beautiful, but the plot reasons behind it was stupid.
That's why I can't say it was beautiful, because it's just like something can't be beautiful and fucking stupid at the same time to me.
Did you happen to see when Endeavor met Todoroki again? He hugged him and cried, completely out of character.
Yeah, I was
Completely.
like, what the fuck?
That was not.
I was sitting there like, did the writers of this movie fucking read the manga or watch the anime, or did they just like, was this their fan fiction?
Endeavor would have been like, you should have used your fire
This,
to take out that enemy.
yeah, Endeavor would be like berating him, but
you
like,
didn't kill him fast enough.
yeah, but like, especially at that point in the series, he would have been like, I thought I taught you how to use your fire. Why didn't you do da? And it's like, he was using fire. You could have countered with fire since it destroyed your ice, you moron.
9 lives just to be killed by Shigaraki.
Yeah, you know what? 9 is a better villain than Shigaraki. I'm gonna let that out right now. Yeah. Shigaraki is a fucking horrible villain, and 9 is an awesome villain. And 9 is wasted. He has so much potential. Dude is far more threatening.
Yeah.
Like, 9 destroys entire towns in an instant and literally doesn't care. Like, the start of the movie, he just murders tens of thousands of people. Like, just murders them all, gone. That's how he starts the movie. And I was just like, no one talked about that either. No one talked about the fact that he murdered. Like, they're just like, oh, he destroyed the city. But there was like, No, what about literally
How
the
many
entire
people
population of the
died,
city?
sir?
Yeah, like, shouldn't your number one focus be find this dude who just murdered tens of thousands of people? Nah.
And then Hawks gets wind that he might be going to this island where the kids are, and everyone's just like, maybe we'll check it out eventually. Maybe we
Yeah, and
will.
it should be
It
like,
should be fine.
send everyone. Like,
Right
do you
now.
remember what was
Okay,
that?
I know.
Was it the
There's a
Marvel movie?
villain.
Like, send everyone.
Yeah, there's a villain called, I call him Ghastly, that tells the teleportation thing. You told me there's no heroes that have teleportation quirks, not one that can't go, hey, let me just teleport out there and make sure those kids are okay, and I'll be back. Okay, boop. Boop.
There's not like a hero with a fucking jet.
That too.
Like
Maybe a really fast helicopter.
maybe like a hero that has like super swimming, like an Aquaman. You know,
We
just
have
send an
those,
Aquaman
like
out there.
literally the steel dude that did Suyu's.
What? Yeah, gang Orca. Can't send gang Orca to go check that shit out.
Hey, Aquaman, go take care of this for us.
Yeah, hey, gang
then-
Orca, the
And then
fucking whale.
the biggest of this whole thing is Bakugo, who did not remember any of it, and then he didn't
Yeah,
question it.
what?
And then he
Yeah,
didn't question it
what?
either. And he's
What?
like, oh, we were losing, and now we're all alive. Cool.
Bakugo, why
Why?
is Bakugo? The fuck's my arm doing? All broken. How'd this happen? You wouldn't be curious? A little curious what happened to my arm? And it's like,
hurts. I need
you
to
know, it's just as bad as those endings where it's like it was all a dream.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you.
This might even be worse. Because they're
Fuck
not even trying
you.
to pass it off as a dream. This was
This movie,
a moderately okay fan fiction that was turned into a movie.
this movie is like the biggest middle finger to anyone who likes any of these characters. Like, do you like Deku? Fuck you. Do you like Bakugo? Well, you love this movie, actually. If you love Bakugo, this is your movie. You know, this is like the Naruto movie that was all about Sasuke, except in this one, it's like, Bakugo does everything.
But yeah, so anyway, they leave the island and they're on the boat and they wave at the children and yay, everybody gay, movie over.
Yeah, and the kid's like, I'm going to be a great hero. And I was like, yeah, you're going to be like Recovery Lady.
Yeah, you're going to be a great recovery hero. You're going to be a
Congrats.
doctor hero.
Yeah, congrats. You're going to be your power. Like, unless he learns to utilize his power to, like, because Deku said his cells were stronger because of the activation. And it's like, I guess if the kid's abilities lets him power up the cells after they get damaged, he would be a horribly terrifying hero because the more you beat him up, the stronger he would get.
Yeah. And look, they pretty much ripped this off of what was going on in the show anyway. Season 5 had the Aerie with the logo with the horn and her rewind.
Yeah, I know.
So you're going to take a child with superpowers that can enhance a quirk for the show, and then you're going to take a child with superpowers.
Well, her power is a lot scarier than his, really.
Yes, you can rewind time.
It's literally time, yeah.
But still, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But
so
okay. How many? What are we gonna rate this one?
How many broken arms?
Broken arms?
Because Deku breaks both his characters. How many quirks? How many of Nine's quirks? How many stolen quirks?
How many stolen quirks? That's okay. I can work with that one. How many stolen quirks do you give this one out of 10, DC?
I need to think. What do you do? You go.
Look, I enjoy my hero. I enjoy the world. You guys know this. Deku is my favorite character in the world, and he's one of my favorite characters. But you heard what I have to say about the movie, and I'm gonna be generous and give it a 5 because, as I said, it's a good movie.
You're way more generous than me.
There's some moments. You thought I'd be more generous?
No, I said you're way more generous than me.
Oh, there's some moments that are really, really good, or not really, really good. They're good. There's some good moments that you're like, and then there's a movie moment, especially the first time you see it. You're like, oh yay, and then you actually like sit back and think about it. Like, wait a minute, none of this makes sense. This is a fan fiction. It's a fan fiction.
Yeah, see, that's where you're giving it a 5, and I'm like, I liked the fights were cool. I liked some of the characters. The animation was good. 3 stolen quirks.
3 stolen quirks?
Voice acting. Yeah, 4 stolen quirks. The voice acting was good.
Okay,
4 stolen
I think
quirks.
that's what you rated Blue Over the Wall, so I think you only rated that a 3. So
Cause like just so much shit was stupid, and so many things didn't make sense, and so many things like were wasted, and potential was thrown out, and there was so many that you could see how this could have been a good movie. You could see the good movie in it. Like there's a good movie in here. We just gotta throw out some of this crap, and let's get to the good part.
They could have even left it in vastly the same plot until like the end.
Where you just have Deku go plus Ultra with his fucking quirk, and Bakugo plus Ultra with his quirk.
Yeah, they could have worked together and still done it. Like
without
Deku does.
This is
Bakugo
like the
does not have to be another All Might to be strong in
dude.
his own right.
This is the bullshit Rainbow Rasengan all over again.
There it is. There it is.
Fucking Rainbow Rasengan is what this reminds me of. Fucking every Naruto movie ended with some bullshit Rasengan shit that like made no sense. Yeah. That's what this was. It was just like, let's just make one for all, do some shit that doesn't make any sense that it couldn't logically do. Yeah!
Yay.
Like, and I was expecting maybe just like, oh, it's the transfer of power, so maybe Deku can pass on a bit of his power that way. Like, they could have just gone with that route instead of just transferring.
Or just shared a little bit of it instead of
like he can like Naruto, like Naruto was able to kind of do. Like
they wanted to raise plot hole. They wanted to raise the stakes. They wanted to make it.
Yeah.
Oh, Deku can't be a hero anymore if he does this. Kind of
but
deal,
but it doesn't raise the stakes when you know the outcome. Like if they were like forecasting that like
Deku was telling this story to like his grandchildren or something, then you'd be like,
yeah.
well, he lives, so why are they?
Yeah, it's sort of like when it's like, oh no, is Bakugo going to die? And it's just like, no, because he's still alive in the anime, so he's not gonna die. So I'm not. It's sort of like with Rogue One, where they're like, oh, they're gonna steal the Death Star blueprints, and I'm like, yeah, but in Star Wars they said a lot of like everyone died getting these blueprints, so all of these characters are gonna die.
Non-canon movies don't have it so like the bad guys kill the heroes. No, have some other things that would make sense if it was in the maybe that child's gonna die. I could see everyone going all out for the child.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Canon. Yeah.
Because you don't know, because any of the side characters like that they create for the movie, you don't know what's gonna happen to them. Their fates are like, who knows?
The bad guy even stated there was no risk to the child. He wasn't gonna hurt the kid.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not gonna kill. And we saw him not like we saw he didn't kill anyone else whose quirk he stole. Like he left them all alive.
So he just killed everybody else, but left these
also
bastard. He took their quirks and just left them quirkless.
When he dies, do they get their quirks back? Like, what's the rules on this?
I don't know.
Because where did the quirks go? Like, I don't understand how I don't understand anything.
We have lots of unanswered questions.
That's why it's 4 stolen quirks out of 10.
I give it 5 because it is everything but the main plot. It's a decent part.
Like everything except for the main plot and how characters act.
Look, I could even deal with characters being nerfed intentionally for if it was a better plot. But anyway,
let Deku be a hero. Boku no Hero Academy. Let Deku save the day. Give Deku a win.
The only time Deku had a win by himself was when he attacked that slime monster when he was quirkless.
Yeah, it's no fair. That's no fair. Dude is the
win.
No, because it didn't. He still didn't do it. He still didn't succeed. God damn it! Just let Deku have a win. That is why I hate him, because the writers will not let him have a win.
Have one win when he fought Muscular. That was him all.
He got one. He got one. Do you know how many Naruto got? Do you know how many Ichigo got? Do you know how many Goku got? Give Deku one. Not just like, come on. It's frustrating. It is frustrating to watch a hero constantly fail because I want to cheer for him, but the writer is just like, no, he can't. Todoroki wins. Bakugo wins. Deku gets nothing. It's like the end of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, where he's like, "You lose, sir. You get nothing."
It's just like the writer was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a main character, but he's gonna suck, and everyone else is gonna deal with it.
Yeah, like that's the
Don't get me
worst
wrong,
way.
I love
How?
Deku, and he has a lot of potential, and he's sweet. But you're
But
right.
like he's not. Yeah, he's like a side character, and it's just like this is how I became the greatest hero. And I'm like, when, where, how? It really doesn't seem like it. And that's not a good way to start your story.
Halfway through the series, he just, the fan fictions with
Like,
evil Deku, unless he just goes evil and kills all the competition. That'd be one way to
I love evil Deku. Like have you seen the images and stuff of evil Deku? He looks great. He's a guy I can get behind. Evil Deku is like,
dude,
hell yeah.
He's just gonna kill everybody, all of the rivals, and just go to the top that way. But look,
like,
we can talk about evil Deku all day, but we talked about the movie, we rated the movie, and if you're interested and you haven't seen it, watch it for yourself. But if you're a big fan of My Hero Universe, you'll probably agree with our choice here.
Watch out for a future stream where DC goes off on the failure of the potential that Deku had.
Fair enough.
See you later, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks for being here.